but it really transforms both the indoor and the outdoor space if you can just work out where to put a few key bits of lighting in your garden.
It does make all the difference, doesn't it? I'm Louise Gookie, and this is the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you hit subscribe. In this episode, design experts Jo Connolly, Jenny Wood, and Lesa Bertie are here to help you create a home that flows effortlessly from the inside to the outside.
Jo, you had some other tips for bringing the inside and outside together.
Yeah, I think great ways to introduce colour outside, besides the plants, the colour of nature, trees, flowers and things like that. If you can pick, if there's a colour you love, you've got a bit of a highlight inside, you can use outdoor cushions. There are fabrics. Pop a cushion on a chair, on an outdoor chair, and all of a sudden that colour that you have featured inside, you've linked into the garden. And I would also say with plants, you want to make sure that you have thought about it through the seasons, from early spring through to the end of the summer, and don't have 50 different things that you've seen in the nursery at one time or another that you just love the look of the flower, because the flowers will come and go very quickly, and then you're just left with the plant there. So if you can plan a little bit like you do inside with your planting outside, it can really help have a nice flow right through the seasons.
So you're looking for something that's going to give you interest at the beginning of the year and the middle of the year, then in summer, then in autumn. And that could be 4 different plants, obviously.
It could be. And it can also be one plant that you can make plants work really hard for you. So you might have a spring flower, you might have a green leaf on a tree, and that leaf turns to a bright crimson, orange or red in the autumn before the tree loses its leaves. And that plant, therefore, has created interest for you right throughout the season and the summer. And you haven't had to do anything to it, which I think trying to find good value plants that really work well for you is a really good way of having continual interest without having to think about it too much.
We're finding there's a lot of versatility as well. You know, with furnishings, you can have indoor and outdoor rugs. So things that, you know, perhaps you might have used in your dining room, when the weather lends itself, you can then bring it outside. So they've got dual purpose and
outdoor fabrics, lots of outdoor rugs. There are things that you can use in both places and mix up your spaces a bit when you want a bit of a refresh. You don't necessarily want to go and buy a whole new theme for your house. It's a really great way of moving things around. And there are so many options now.
And Lesa, I know you had some tips on lighting around the home.
yeah, I think lighting's often very much overlooked, and I think it's something that you really need to sort of plan at the very beginning if you're embarking on a home renovation. And sometimes people often ignore it and do regret it, because to install lighting retrospectively is really, really difficult. So if you've planned a space and then suddenly you've decided, oh, I should have had some pendant lights, for example, there are ways now that you can install things retrospectively, like pendant lights with rechargeable lights. We're seeing more and more of this available on the market.
And if you're renting somewhere and you don't necessarily, you want to have a different feel in the room,
Exactly.
using things that you can take with you when you leave are probably really handy as well.
And sometimes you may have moved somewhere where the sockets aren't quite in the right place, so therefore if something's rechargeable, it can be moved in different areas of your home. I had a client and they had a little girl, and she was very, very drawn to this mushroom rechargeable lamp. And it was the only way they could get her to sleep. So she'd have it on the sofa, and she would have it in her bedroom, and she'd be with her mum and dad. And, you know, it's just a very versatile way of using lighting, and a fun way as well.
And you can also get many lights that are meant to be wired in changed to be plug-in nowadays. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, again, you know, the choice is immense, you know, and the technology that has advanced as well. It just gives you so many more options of what you could do.
And when you're looking at planning lighting in a space, you don't want to just have one type of lighting, do you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've got wall lights, you've got table lamps, but they all give you a different mood. Think about the type of bulb as well. You know, if you've got a glass pendant light, you could use a really lovely filament bulb. That'll give it a bit of a retro vibe. Again, you know, the world of bulbs is a whole new section to explore, but yeah, definitely have fun with it, and use the inspiration that you're seeing out there. It's all doable. You can do a version of something that you like and you can afford within your budget.
And I think, again, with the exterior, outdoor lighting, it creates a really, really massive impact on your outdoor space. We have so many dark hours in this country that once it gets dark, it's basically a black wall outside your windows and your doors. A little bit of key feature lighting makes an absolute transformation of your outdoor space. And you don't actually even have to be in it, but sitting in your back living room or having dinner and having a really beautiful plant in the corner that draws your eye and lights it up. Just a few little accent lights are absolutely, they really, really make a huge difference to your outdoor space. So you can have some highlight lighting like that to light up a pot, a feature, a plant. You could also use, if you're going to be in the garden, some what we call task lighting, which means that if you have a step, you want to make sure it's safe for everybody to walk up and down the steps in the dark. So you might need some strip lighting under the steps, or you might need some eye lights on the step risers or something. Or if you've got a dark path, or you want to barbecue outside in the when it's dark, it's really difficult to do if there's no lighting out there. So maybe think about putting some low voltage lighting out there.
And they don't all have to be wired in, that's right.
No, you can use, there are solar lights now. You can just highlight a tree with some fairy lights that are on a battery pack. There are so many options, but it really transforms both the indoor and the outdoor space if you can just work out where to put a few key bits of lighting in your garden.
It does make all the difference, doesn't it? I think if you've also got a bit of extra budget in your pocket, smart lighting has become something that's really grown over the years. And if you can go to a professional service, they can give you tips on how to zone your lighting and create different scenes. So, it could be your bedroom scene or your dining scene, and that's just taking it onto another level. But if you have the money to invest, yeah, absolutely.
And to have your lighting on different circuits as well, so that you can create different moods. So you can have, your spotlights on in your kitchen if you're prepping food, but then you can have just under cabinet lighting, or the wall lights, or the pendants you were mentioning. You can have those on when you may be entertaining later on.
Absolutely. Yeah. Often people assume that smart lighting has to be operated on a really good Wi-Fi system. And something we've learned quite recently is that it doesn't, it can be hardwired. You can change the light switches retrospectively again. So yeah, there's a lot that's advanced and,
planning,
and you can play with.
It's talking to somebody, getting your lists worked out of the things, sorting your color out, working out where you want your lights. And probably the biggest tip is have all of that planned before you knock anything down, take anything out. It can save you having to repair a lot of changes later.
That's so true. Great. Well,
that helps.
Yeah, I hope that's helpful. Thank you very much. If you'd like any more tips or advice, or you'd like to find out a little bit more about interior design or garden design, feel free to visit our website, decorbuddy.com, and that's decorbuddy with an I instead of a Y at the end, decorbuddi.com, or check us out on Insta.
And hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wrap. Now you know how to design a home that truly flows from room to room and from indoors to outdoors. So, to recap, lighting is key. Don't just think of it as a function. Use it to set the mood and support your lifestyle. Connection between spaces. Make sure your indoor and outdoor areas feel connected for that seamless flow. Final planning tips. Design with your day-to-day activities in mind so that your space works for you, not the other way around. With Jo, Jenny and Lesa's expert advice, you can now transform your home into a beautifully cohesive environment where every element feels intentional and connected. Stay tuned for more design insights from our experts, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.